Hey, everybody, and welcome to a conversation with K, J, and that's it. There's no A at this point. K and J from the KJ and A podcast. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Wonderfully.
Good.
Phenomenal.
So, Kevin is the K, I'm assuming, unless you guys are jumbling up your letters for some reason, and then J is the J. So what's the A?
The A is anything.
Oh, yeah. Anything. Okay, there you go. I wasn't sure if it was rude. Maybe it could be rude. I don't know.
Well, when we initially started, it was for anime because we started just talking about anime. And then we realized that we really went off on tangents a lot. Mm-hmm. And we were like, you know what's more fun? Just talking about whatever we want. And so we were like, the A can be anything then.
There you go. See, here, and I was thinking that maybe A was the silent partner who was funding this whole thing.
Wait, you can make money doing podcasts?
Well, not you or me, but other people.
I've heard other people can make money. And I'm like, wait.
How do you do that?
Apparently somebody, well, I have a theory if you want to hear it, but I think other people do make money. Yeah.
I would love to hear your theory.
Oh, really? Okay. So basically the people who make money in podcasting are the people who sell podcasters things. So if you sell something to podcasters, you'll make money. Podcasting in and of itself is not a means to an end. It has become a classification of people who buy things. That's my theory.
You know what? At one point, my ex-wife decided she wanted to do LuLaRoe. And it did not make any money. But you know what did make money was me selling people stuff on Etsy, like the people who sold LuLaRoe. Mm-hmm. I was selling them bottles to give away with the LuLaRoe logo on them. I was making business cards for them with the LuLaRoe logo on it, and I was making money off of that.
Yeah, see,
not the actual selling of the clothing.
Right. I think that's what it is. It's just they've created a classification of consumer for a specific niche, and they sell to them. So think about that, folks.
Yeah.
If you're an ambitious, if Kevin or Jay, if you're ambitious people, you might be able to think of something in this space to sell people. So that's my thought on it. You know, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of another example, but cars, people need cars to do things. People make tons of money off of selling car shit to people. So, you become a consumer with a car, and now all of a sudden you got ways to spend money. People who own cars don't make money on them generally.
Thanks, DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can make a little bit of money being a DoorDasher, I suppose, but it's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you in the long run.
Yeah,
with all that wear and tear.
Yeah, I had a whole conversation with a friend of mine at lunch. I'm like, the gig economy is brainwashing the whole generation of people into thinking that it's the end all be all, when it's just another way for you not to make money.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I used to use it for supplement. Like,
sure.
Well, you know what? I'd feel like not eating just ramen today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go out, spend an hour doing a DoorDash, and then now I can buy Panera.
But you're not going to get wealthy off of it.
Oh, hell no.
It's not a means to an end, I guess is what I'm saying. You can get beer money or food money or something like that, but you're not going to get any kind of real substantial.
It's definitely not a career.
Well, I suppose you can make it a career, but
a career of struggling.
So speaking of a career in struggling, that brings me back to you guys.
To the podcast.
The struggle is real.
So I dropped in. I somewhat invited myself onto your show a few weeks ago. You put out a thing and said, "Hey, is anybody not busy?" And I'm like, "Hey, I just won't DoorDash tonight." No, I'm just joking. And and I'll go on these guys' podcast. And kind of invited myself in, and it was a lot of fun. And so what is you said anime was kind of the gateway drug to have you do this, right? But you've kind of, surpassed that or gone beyond that. So what's the deal? Why are you still doing it if anime kind of fell off the list?
I mean, I wouldn't say anime fell off the list. It was
you know what I mean? It wasn't the focus, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun to start because we had our differing ways of seeing it. Like, I'm a huge anime nerd and Kevin's not, so
yeah. So I assumed that I would be making fun of it, and he would be like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life," and I was like, "You know what? That would be funny if we recorded that."
Until we started actually agreeing on certain things being really good or really terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so was the agreement kind of you went down that road and you're like, hey, this is not as fun as disagreeing.
Oh no, it's just because we constantly, it doesn't matter what we're watching or what we're doing at any given moment. Like, we always go down a weird rabbit hole of different things every time, and we can't help it. Yeah. So we decided to shift the focus from just specifically doing anime reviews to whatever came to our minds or what we thought was interesting to do at the time. And we still just randomly go off on tangents. That will never stop.
Yeah. That's just, well, like we made a Patreon, and our Patreon, our intention was to just BS for like 15, 20 minutes for the Patreon. And it didn't. And then we were doing the BSing, and the more we did it, the more I was like, we could just do this. Because like the anime was fun, but we also, when we were reviewing anime, we would like basically tell the whole story of what happened in that anime. We'd be like, oh, we gotta stop talking. We gotta get into, what happens next, because it's been 30 minutes and we haven't gotten to half the movie yet. And so then we go,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had to rush. And then like he would say who was in it. And then we would rate it, say our favorite parts, our hate part. But then, like, we realized that the structure, it was just like, it's not as fun if we have the structure. Like, we still watch movies and we'll watch anime every once in a while and still have an episode about it if we can't think of anything else to do. But it's not so structured as it once was. Because I think Jay and I definitely thrive when there's no structure, because we just go down that rabbit hole and it's just like we think about another topic, and then I bring up something else, and then he brings up something else, and then we just keep going. And then we're going, what were we talking about initially?
Yeah, what was the plan here?
Sometimes we work our way back to it.
Sometimes we work our way back.
So it sounds like, Jay, you were the one who brought the concept initially, at least.
Oh, no.
And then basically, oh, no?
Oh, no.
Said you're the anime guy, and Kevin's the non-anime guy-ish.
Kevin was the guy who actually brought the idea of a podcast.
Oh, really? You're like, hey, Jay, I want to make fun of you talking about anime. Is that okay? Can we record this?
That was almost exactly the pitch.
For a few months there, I was going through like a divorce, and I was crashing on his couch for a few months.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And so I was there almost like every evening because I tried to stay out and work so I could get my place. But then we would sit and we'd watch movies, and we'd just be talking about it. And we would like make jokes on it, making each other laugh. And then he was always watching an anime or whatever. And then I was like, it'd be really funny. Like if we watched anime, because you love anime and I could care less. Like, that's like, I could take it or leave it. But it would be really funny if we just did a podcast on that.
Yeah, I think Jay's other thought was, and you to find your own place. That was probably his second thought.
Yes, mostly his wife. Get the fuck out of my house.
You're like, I'm really enjoying watching this anime without you, but you're still here. Well, that's interesting. So that's kind of the core piece there that comes together, and then you're like, I mean, where did the podcasting as a concept come into this? You wanted to record, so I guess podcasting just becomes the natural progression at that point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I listen to podcasts all the time, and so the more you listen to something, the more you're like, I could probably do this.
Yeah.
And then it's like when you watch somebody do, I don't know, baking, you're like, I could probably bake.
I've seen brownies. What the hell, right?
I can make a fucking brownie or a cake. Why not?
That game. It's entirely
interesting. Well,
you got to use this softened butter versus this melted butter. Oh, don't forget to sift your flour.
That's right.
No one knows how to make a roux. No one.
I do now.
Yeah, a roux. Come on. It's some kind of Cajun thing, isn't it?
2 out of the 3 know how to make a roux.
I did it once and it was terrible, and I did it the second time and it was perfect.
Oh,
perfect.
Wow, that's progress right there.
Oh,
so
all the directions.
So a lot of times when I talk to people about this, a lot of the answers is most people were in a band. I go, how did you come around to doing this kind of stuff? And they're like, well, I was in a band and we were recording our music and we started talking. And I find that it's fascinating. So you guys are just kind of you don't have any background like that, like musically, or you were in some kind of band or some kind of radio background or interest in radio at all?
I mean,
the crickets were just coming through right there.
Well, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
There was a time where I was really into trying to be in a band, and I mean, I had learned a few instruments, and I was in a very short-lived band, but I never thought it would translate over to like podcasting or anything. I mean, I have a weird love to be on the mic for some reason, I guess.
Ooh, okay. So there's that, right? So that's
yeah.
Well, the other thing is, usually people in a band have a microphone. That's the other big that's the other big thing is like
we don't have to buy one.
We have instruments and we've got these microphones, and what the hell?
We're halfway there.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got the concept.
Yeah.
Of podcasting going on.
Well, like a lot of it was also he and I knew we had like a good connection. Like when we talk, we just bounce off each other constantly, and there was never like a dull laze in the talking when he and I talk, because we meshed really well together. So I was like, well, we could totally do this as a podcast, and it wouldn't be boring because you and I always got something to talk about.
That's cool. That's fantastic.
And then I bought all the stuff, and then we worked on it.
And then he did not move out because he spent all of his money on recording equipment.
Yeah, Jay's right over there.
He's not supposed to know.
But that's wild, though. But interesting. That's very interesting. And you guys started this. What would you call your origin date, or whatever you want to call it?
Oh.
It was 2022. I want to say June.
July.
Yeah, I want to
say June.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to go outside. I'll just stay in here and talk.
Yeah, I was working all day, so then I come home and be like, all right, let's just do the thing. Let's get drunk, and we'll talk about the anime, and then we're good.
Yeah.
Somehow this kind of little flashes of marriage came into that conversation for a moment. Okay, I had to work all day. Let's get drunk and do our thing, and then we'll get on with her. Go to bed. Do it again.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, I think we had like a stockpile of like 5 episodes that we could just hold on to, and we just keep recording after that. And we're just like, oh yeah, we're ahead of the game. We're perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, well, we both agreed. We were like, let's do 5 episodes so we have a buffer, and then we would record 1 a week. And then after a while, that buffer disappeared, and then shit, we're behind. And then let's try and make another buffer. But I'm tired.
Then life started happening.
Then real life happened. Let's just skip another week. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So you try to keep, though, a weekly schedule is the goal there.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to do at least 1 full length recording, and then hopefully 4 mini recordings. So we have a whole month of little Mondays, and then
when do we start that? I can't remember.
What's this mini recording? Explain that concept.
Well, honestly, I was trying to think of a way for us to get more listens.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, what if we did like just a 5-10 minute recording on like Mondays? And I was like, well, we could like pick a character, like a funny character from Marvel or DC or like, you know, one of our favorite characters, and then just talk about them for like 5 or 10 minutes. Each of us pick one, and then we can throw that out there on Mondays. And maybe we'll get more listens, and then we'll be higher up on the blah, blah, blah. And so now on Mondays, I can't remember how long it's been. I feel like it's been a few months we've been doing.
We started on the first episode. The first mini was on March 31st.
Okay, March 31st. We started doing them on Mondays. And it's just like, we call them the character deep dives, because we just pick a funny character, or like I usually pick the funny and the stupidest characters. He picks the ones that make him happy. But that's how it was with animes too. Whenever we picked animes, he would pick like the coolest, you know, the ones he liked, and I'd be like, this one is rated as the lowest. Let's watch this one.
Let's watch this horrible.
Episode 2.
Oh man, there's so many terrible ones that we watched, and it was like afterwards we're like, this is just absolute garbage. Let's talk about how terrible this is.
That's funny. So did the minisodes pan out? Did it do what you wanted?
I don't think it really changed anything. I don't think it really had a huge effect.
Do you still do them? I guess is my other question.
Yeah. We still do them.
But it didn't change anything.
Yeah, it didn't change. It didn't have an effect, but it was like, well, I mean, we're already doing them, and it's not really like we do our regular recording, and then we're like, okay, well, let's just each do one real quick and get it out of the way. And it's like 20 minutes, bing, bang, boom, and it doesn't take long to edit. Blah, 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 done.
Oh, who's the editor in this situation? Jay,
but Jay has the harder.
No arms? Can I ask that
Jay
question?
has the harder job.
I just wanted to make sure that Kevin wasn't cheating and Jay didn't have any arms to raise. And so.
Let's go here.
No, Jade has the harder job. He does all the socials.
Oh yeah,
because I cannot, like, just having all the socials up and trying to keep track of that gives me such anxiety that I can't. Like, he takes care of it, and he'll be like, hey, could you take care of this person? He's talking on Twitter about this. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, he, the way we always say it is he sets him up and I knock him down, because I'm the one who does all like I'll do the talking, but he will, he mostly handles the day-to-day social stuff. And we probably wouldn't be where we are without him posting every day, because I cannot. It is a headache. And just, my anxiety.
You don't use any kind of posting software for your socials at all? You just do it like you're a raw dog in social?
Oh yeah. Every day.
No lube. Straight in the socials.
What's good, guys? How's your morning going?
All across Monday. Yes,
that sounds incredibly difficult, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It can be a chore. I think I end up staying on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it nowadays, primarily. But yeah,
Xer.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, seriously, I don't think we'd be where we are without him, because I cannot do those socials. It is all him. I do editing, and the editing takes me maybe like 20-30 minutes, and it's not even like that much knowledge.
Truth comes out, Jay. Everybody's going to be starting to throw chairs here in a moment. It only takes you 20 minutes? I'm on this fucking social all day long.
Well, no, I've done a small share of editing here and there. But yeah.
Yeah, when my computer wasn't working, he was doing it because I was
Could you totally
I
fell off on him?
It can be a chore.
It's interesting. I can't believe that you're doing socials like in real time, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Do they have I mean, what software is there? Like,
there's a bunch of different things that you can just queue it all up and send them out whenever you want. Yeah,
and then set it all up ahead of time. Like, do it all on Sunday, and then you ain't got to do it every day.
Ta-da! Correct.
Smarter than what I do.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not being a dick. I'm trying to save you some workload.
It's the social.
No, it's totally. I mean, nowadays it's even easier than ever. I mean, there used to be a few things, but now, I mean, there's so many of them. It's ridiculous that half the people who are on social are AI at this point, I believe. So,
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people don't even do anything. They just click a button that says, yeah, make some posts out of this and
make something funny. Involve camels.
Make
Done.
me, yeah.
Hey, you leave my camels alone.
I'm talking about the Wednesday hump day posts.
Yeah, right. I will make that camel do anything.
But I think that it's interesting that you do. I mean, this is almost a lost art at this point, even that people are actually, well, number one, that you actually do the socials, which some people hire people to do their socials, which you can believe that or not. This is, again, how people make money on podcasting is they make the podcasters pay them to do their socials.
Yeah.
And you're doing it yourself, and you're doing it in real time, which is not, I think at this point, outside the norm.
I think that's something we discussed too. We were like, when we get to make any sort of money, we're going to pay somebody else to do these fucking socials.
Yeah, when that day comes. When that day comes.
Well, who handles the Patreon in this relationship?
Well, you have to have a subscriber in order for there to be anything to handle.
Oh, okay. So there's I didn't, because I mean you have to put it underneath somebody, right? So
I mean, I set it up.
Okay, so
and when we haven't added to it in like a year, honestly. But I mean, if no one's listening to the 6 hours we got on there, then why am I gonna put more effort in?
Well, Kevin, you're slacking. Jay is doing all the heavy lifting right there.
There's at least one.
That was my son.
And he gives him the money. Oh.
Yeah, he was like, hey, look, you have a subscriber. I was like, sweet. And then it was like a week, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, cool. Well, that was awful nice that your son did that. Did he do it? Was he doing that to be mean, or was he doing that to be nice?
No, he was doing it to be nice because he was trying to be supportive.
Okay.
You know,
there you go.
Name.
What does it say? I can't read it.
Iridescentia. It's a lot of gibberish.
Oh well, I have no idea who that is.
See, exactly. See,
look at that.
Your son this time.
Okay, so, well then we have to do more content.
Yeah, now you're gonna have to do some more mini things.
Yeah, now we have to do more content, Jay.
Mini sods, mini casts.
I don't blame myself for this. We can go.
Oh my goodness. So, but that's interesting. So, on your son trying to be supportive, so that's good though. I mean, that's fun. So he knows that you guys get together, you guys talk, and all. Is he older, younger? I mean, how old? I mean, not, you don't have to give me total details.
No, that's fine. I got 4 kids, and 2 of them are boys and out of the house, and 2 of them are girls, and single dad life.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So then they're a little older. So then they're out and about and doing their own thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, they have their own places.
Whenever? So you've been doing it for a few years. Nobody's ever said, "Dad, oh, Father, why are you making such a fool of yourself on the internet?"
No, they always say, "Can I come on your podcast, please?" And
I'm
like, "No." Dad, can I come on your podcast? No.
The A doesn't include you kids. It's anything but.
I think we had your daughter on one time, right? Yeah, we had.
He barely said anything.
Yeah. So she was like, "I want to be on. I want to be on." And then she got on and didn't say shit.
Yeah. For an hour. That was the Five Nights at Freddy review.
Yeah.
She had gotten really into Five Nights at Freddy, so we tried to have her on, and she maybe spoke a little bit. And that
it was some snide remark once or twice, and that was
yeah, normal teenage daughter stuff.
Yes, exactly, as expected teenage stuff.
So none of your kids care about what you're doing in this space. Then, I mean, other than they're trying to be supportive. I mean, they're not like wishing you wouldn't or anything like that.
No, it's not, because it's not really an inconvenience. Like when I'm not here, it's like I do one of 3 things. It's like I do the podcast.
I'll just limit it to 2 because I don't want to know the third, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Well, you already know the podcast, and then it's work.
Gotcha. Cool.
And I play with them. So they know I spend my time with them. What'd you say, Jay?
I said, and that other thing.
I mean, anime, the width and breadth of anime is very deep. So
yeah.
So anyway,
it's a lot. But I mean, honestly,
it covers every genre that regular television would.
Well, and a lot more.
Yeah,
like, then there's that
and that third thing too. Anyway, let's move on.
Honestly, I've developed a love for some anime though since we started doing it, because it's not things I would have watched on my own. But there's been a few that were really, really good, and I was like, okay, this is great. Like, so now when I'm zooming through trying to find something to watch, I don't just immediately skip over the anime. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that one's about. I wonder if that could be interesting. Please don't sit and talk about the one punch you're about to throw for 35 minutes.
At least it's not as bad as Dragon Ball Z. One Punch Man is much faster-paced.
Now, funny you should mention that. I actually knew a director for Dragon Ball Z like back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still know him actually, but he used to direct episodes for Funimation way back in the day.
Oh,
in the 90s.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z was when they were on like WB, right?
Probably when they first came over to the States, whenever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember watching that as a kid every Sunday from noon to 2.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z.
And then you would see it from the beginning of the whole Raditz thing, and you get almost to Namek, and then right back to the beginning.
Yeah, start at the beginning, and you're like, son of a bitch!
It loops you back.
Guess they're dubbing episodes again.
What happens now?
Now, do you guys, either one of you, as far as like your day life, we'll call it, right? Your regular job life, do you have to speak? Do you have to talk a lot, or is that not part of your deals?
I
mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're not answering the phone all day. Hey, this is Jay. Jay's used cars.
Actually, yeah. 2 out of 3 days of the week. Yeah, that is something that I do. But it's a county job, so I'm answering the phone for the county. So.
Oh, okay. So you're in like some kind of official capacity for something.
Something like that.
I
work for the county, and then I work for the state. So.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so
one day I'll get to the federal.
Jay is the responsible one so far. Kevin.
I do. I work for a behind-the-scenes pharmacy, and I deal in billing, so I do talk to a lot of people.
Oh, really? Okay.
Telling them, give me your money, and let me take that credit card number.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty terrible.
It's pretty terrible.
It's pretty terrible.
So Jay has what I would call a relatively fine, stable job, and Kevin has got a soul-crushing job of some kind.
I mean, it could be worse. Maybe I'm just a whiner, but it could be worse. It could be worse because I'm making enough money to support myself and my kids. That's all I need.
There. Any free coffee? I know Jay's got free coffee. He works for the county and so forth, state. So
yeah,
it's either free or somebody else buys it. It doesn't matter.
I'll just do like everybody else and get my Starbucks and be okay.
Oh, you'd rather pay $10 for a cup of coffee?
Oh no, I go to Food Line to get the Frappuccino, sir.
Oh wow!
Fancy it up.
Well, so Jay's higher paid than Kevin at this point. We know that. He's getting Frappuccinos. Kevin's down here like, I'll just, if there's a bottle of water there's somebody left in the fridge, I'll just take that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just make my coffee at home.
Yeah,
that's fine.
No, because you guys are kind of going against the grain a little bit on some of these questions that I asked, because a lot of times people who are doing podcasting aren't during the day talking a lot. They're usually much more quiet, it seems like.
I mean, we also do a lot of karaoke too. So
really?
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, we both. I haven't as much recently because, chasing babies, I didn't get time for it. But
yeah,
we did. I mean, geez, for the first year we were doing it, we were there every Friday for like 5 hours singing karaoke, guaranteed every Friday.
Oh my gosh, 5 hours of karaoke!
And I mean, we'd get hammered, and then you'd have to wait for the buzz to die down so you could get home. So
there was that.
So what was the go-to song for each of you?
Oh god.
Ooh. 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20.
I was in the stream. Did you guys team up? Who was Kenny? Who was Dolly?
Oh god.
Oh, we did Whole New World.
Yeah, we did do Whole New World. So
and you made me do Phone Wallet Keys by Adam Sandler one time.
That was awesome.
That was fun. And I did It's Raining Men because somebody asked me to do that one.
They both did it, or just you, Kevin?
Just me.
Okay.
And I'm happy to act a fool and make people laugh. So it's what I do.
Hallelujah.
It's
That's interesting. So what's the? So you're doing anything now? Poor Jay is hammering out the socials manually, for Christ's sake.
That's all him, like a champ.
So what's the, have you guys got a plan going forward?
Lay it loose.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started it, we really were hoping that eventually we could make it into something that's an actual career. We could actually make money and, provide a little bit of entertainment. I think it's still the goal. But it's also a good excuse for us to just hang out because we don't really get an excuse to hang out because we live about an hour away from each other now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good excuse for us to hang out and stuff. But I mean, I'd like to say that the end goal is that we would eventually make money and make it into a career of sorts, where we could do it for a living, and then we could put more content out there. And so we've kind of been doing stream stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we posted on YouTube, me playing some games, and we posted a few of our recordings on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just had a meeting last night about joining up with GamerCore. I don't know if you know who that is.
No, tell me.
It's a veteran thing with Tech for Troops.
Oh, okay.
That's
you know what? I have heard of that, but go ahead.
it's just about suicide prevention in veterans, and so by using like video games and technology, and so he and I are gonna probably be streaming. I think it's 4 hours a month at least, just to like promote awareness, and so they in turn are going to be promoting us, and so and so that's our goal. I mean, I think the end goal is that we would like to make it a career, but I don't think we have the actual steps to make it there. We're just like, I would like for this to happen, and then we're like looking for the road to get there.
I think a lot of people are doing that. That's not unusual, I don't think.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
yeah.
So all that sound good to you, Jay? I'm gonna pit you guys against each other like Morton.
Oh no, I mean, the end goal was to be like, okay, we can actually stop doing real people jobs.
Yeah, this bullshit day job.
Like actually have fun and like sit in an office and talk to each other about where do we want things to go, and here's the storyboard for this episode, and this is what we're gonna do. And this
we had the big dreams.
Yeah,
we were like, let's get an office space, and then we could just go in there just to record, and we can make everything perfect. And then again, like you said, we're just funding construction workers. Podcast.
Well, right now, office space is probably pretty cheap because COVID's still rippling through the real estate market. So you probably could get some cheap space at the moment because so many people are working from home. So
that's also true.
That's true. That's true. I mean, my initial idea was to get one of those cheap sheds from like Lowe's and then pad it, put some AC in it, and then like put it in my backyard and be like, boom, we have a recording space now.
That is a concept. And you know what? That narrative, I think, would fly really well. You'd have the whole, origin story of you getting the shed and fixing it up, and then you'd be in there. Hey, we're in the shed today. Let's see what neighbor Bill's doing.
Look out the window. Look at this asshole. Trimming his hedges again. Dave, they don't need to be lower.
That's right. How lawn care is an addiction. Some people have.
So, are you saying that you have a lawn care?
No, addiction? My neighbor does. They mow their grass twice a week. It's crazy.
Oh, that's entirely too much.
That is. Yeah. Oh, that
and
is
then
so
there's
much.
like my yard, which looks like a shithole.
Should only take one cut and maybe a couple of burns.
Yeah.
like
my
I'm just
like,
trying for the bees.
Yeah, why doesn't our yard look like the neighbors? I'm like, because I'm not insane.
Because I don't care.
And we don't have an HOA.
If you would rather not have McDonald's once a week, we can pour that money right in the gas tank of the old mower. All right. No, that's interesting though. But I think that that they're. I mean, somebody'd have to drive an hour because you got to pick a backyard. But I think that concept, the shed, broadcasting from the shed in Jay's backyard or whatever, has a certain appeal to people.
Well, I wasn't imagining we're sitting in there next to the lawn tools.
Right.
It's just it's like an actual shed, have the soundproof padding, have an AC unit in there that'll blow in so it doesn't sound like it, just to have the good sound quality.
Right. Yeah. You got it muffled or something, some kind of sound dampener.
Yeah. So, and then you'd have an actual recording space, and then we would also have a place to bring additional, because we had other ideas for other podcasts we wanted to do. Like I love Dungeons and Dragons. I would totally run a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Hey, actually, I know some guys that do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
It's so fun.
What's their names? I will tell you what their names are here.
Is it modular?
Dungeons and Talk Shows. That's the name of the show.
All right.
You should hit them up and then be on.
Ooh. I haven't played in so long. It'd be so fun.
Yeah. No. You got to reach out.
It'd be so fun.
But I mean, that sounds cool though. I mean, so you do have some, future plans. You guys actually have a meeting. That's what I'm surprised by. You're like, we had a meeting. I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever had a meeting.
What our first meeting was with Unfiltered Studios.
Yeah.
Last year.
We were so excited. We were like, we actually have a meeting, you guys. We actually have a meeting. Oh my God. Let's be professional. Hello.
So did you have a different t-shirt on for that meeting?
No, I wish I did.
What were we wearing that day?
For all we know, Jay's wearing a dickie. So
that's true. For all we know, there's no pants on.
Okay.
Oh, let's not worry about pants, people.
Yeah. Well, it's not that important.
This is an above board meeting after all.
Yeah. Above the waist. Yeah, that would be the question. I ask my wife, we do all this home improvement stuff, and I go, is this a shoes on or shoes off situation for me? Because I don't like to wear shoes. And she'd be like, I think you want to wear shoes for this. I'm like, fuck.
Damn it.
That means I don't want to do it.
Now I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Free.
I did the wallpaper removal with shoes off. With the steamer.
Oh.
An old steamer, which means it had I don't know what you call it. It had like a cord. Now, it had like a big tube that went down to the steamy part, and then you had a platen or something. Yeah, I stepped all over that thing and burnt my feet. It was horrible.
So every time you burnt your feet, you're like, I should probably put on shoes.
Yeah, I should, and then I never did. Yeah. I'm like, I really hate shoes, and so I'll just put up with this. It's not too bad. No blistering, just pain. That's all. I can do the pain. The blistering.
Ow!
Pain.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Ow! Oh
yeah.
well.
Oh well. I'm still not putting shoes on. Yeah. So Jay's on the no pants meeting. Can I inquire? Is this a pants meeting or no pants? Yeah. That's funny, but it sounds like, you obviously have a system here, right? So you guys are organized enough to know, hey, we're doing the long format show, we're doing mini shows, we're Jay's handling the socials, I'm handling the meager editing that happens, and
yeah.
So yeah, so it sounds like you guys could make a go of it. What's the obstacle? If you had to say, this is my main obstacle or our main obstacle to do this, what would you say that it would be?
Besides
money. That's the obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say monetary loneliness versus
Yeah,
maybe
and
maybe not
also
being loud enough on the socials. I don't know.
I think I mean the way that social media works, it's I think that's mainly the way to get your name out there. But the problem is everyone is trying to do that, and so it's like trying to pick your way out of a giant fucking crowd. And like, hey, look at me, and then you're like, I see you, and everyone is doing that though. Everyone's going to look at me. Like, I think that the main thing is just getting your name out there, like as many ways as possible. But there's so many different. It's almost. I feel like it's almost impossible to get like some sort of social media influence because that's really the only way to do anything anymore is through social media and becoming popular that way. But that's just getting more views, and then for us it'd be like getting more listens. But we only have but so many, and then the only way to get your name out there is through social media or us physically going to different places because we went to like one con with like I went with like stickers and I was going to every booth and I was like, hey, here's a sticker for KJNA podcast, blah blah blah. Hey, let me take one of your cards and we'll announce it on our podcast. And what's your social media, and then we'll follow you and blah 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 and tag you in it. And like that was a little bit of influence out there, but I don't know. I think it's just a matter of outreach. But that's probably with every podcast. Just
what con did you go to? What was the name of it?
Just the Virginia Comic Con.
Oh, okay. So it was I was gonna say, where was it at as well? Virginia.
Yeah, it was a really small one.
Virginia.
It was just at the Richmond Raceway.
Yeah. That's interesting. So you didn't have a booth? You just went as an attendee kind of a situation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there was booths of some kind at this thing.
Yeah, there was other podcast booths. There's I'm trying to think of what the Richmond podcast.
Geeks Under the Influence.
Geeks Under the Influence, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're a Richmond podcast group, and they bought like 3 tables. Really? And had like this huge booth with like spinning to get free stuff and I was like, if they haven't really made it yet, and because I looked at their stuff and I'm like, their numbers aren't much better than ours,
right?
And they're putting in a lot more effort. Shit, this is gonna take a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah,
so, go ahead.
We could always go to different places. I mean, we could go to like Richmond shows for like bands. We could go to and interview the bands. We could go to the cons, like you said, and we just go around and be like, answer some questions real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have talked about doing that, but actually doing it and implementing it, we haven't done it yet because real life and
things cost money.
Yeah, things cost money, and there's time, and all the time. It's on the vision board.
I found a way.
Oh, the vision board. What else is on the vision board? This is a whole other thing that people do that I've never done.
Yeah, well, when you hit a really low depression, you're like, okay, I have to set some goals. And so I made a vision board, and it's like win a podcast award, be invited to a con, make money off of the podcast, have a house in the middle of nowhere with lots of land and lots of plants so I can garden, have like an apiary, like that's in my
podcast
cards.
shack.
Yeah, and I would have a podcast shack. That's right. In this dream, there's a podcast shack.
Yeah, there you go.
Shack or basement? I feel like basement would be better.
Basement would be good, just as good. But if there is no basement, I'm content with a shack that I can put a little red light outside when we're recording. Bing.
That's funny. A little recording sign outside.
Shut your mouth.
Don't bother Daddy's recording in the shack.
Yeah, leave me alone. Give me another beer. No, I'm just kidding. We'd have a fridge in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have a vision board yourself, Jay, or no?
Oh, no. No, I don't have a vision board.
Okay, so you're not going for that stuff, huh?
Well, I don't know. maybe.
I mean, you like the ideas he's putting forth, but
the ideas are amazing. Again,
you're not pinning them on a bulletin board somewhere or anything.
Nah.
Okay.
If I were going to do anything like that, it would be like a good game of darts.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see what sticks. Hell yeah!
Well, luckily he wasn't going through the same shit that I was going through, so I don't think he needed a vision board to alleviate his sadness.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
that's all.
This was a depression relief
yes.
situation.
Yes, gotcha. It was a new divorce and all that other stuff.
Well, the worst divorces are new divorces, as they say.
I mean, that's not even a joke. It is seriously the worst. The very beginning is the absolute worst when your whole world changes and you have to figure out how to be alone. Oh. It's rough.
Jay, any advice on that? I'm guessing you haven't had a new divorce recently.
No. No divorces here. Just going through the motions, as they say. Are you married? Yep.
Okay, you had a daughter, but that doesn't mean you have to be married, So.
That's true.
Been married for 17 years as of
congratulations.
Halloween Day.
So how do you get by without a new divorce?
You can go to Walmart and get a new one. Sell them in the sporting goods section.
Oh,
any life advice? I'm getting a trend between the two of you, and Kevin, don't take this the wrong way, but Jay is the stable one. He has a stable job. He's been married for quite some time. Seems to be very content with his life. Where Kevin, new divorce, soul crushing job.
I mean, I try to make it that's my goal is stability. Oh, okay. So that's why the divorce happened. Because I needed stability.
Step one.
Step one, yes. Step one of many. Every step has been forward, though.
So, am I gauging your personalities with my thoughts here? Just I don't know you that well. I've talked to you twice now, so am I in the ballpark here? Because I mean, the interesting thing is every time you get, I think. Well, it doesn't have to be even recorded, but you get two folks who are friends for a good amount of time. Everybody brings something to the table, right? And typically it's not the exact same thing. And so it's interesting to see what you guys are bringing to the table for your show. And also as, I'm assuming you're friends outside the show because of the way that you're talking and everything. And so it's interesting how that works.
Oh God, yeah, we've been friends since. God.
It's been a decade and then some.
Yeah.
Where did you guys meet up then?
We were working at the same place.
Oh, okay.
And it was like one of those things where suddenly when he and I were working together, it was like time flew by, and we got so much done.
Oh, you actually got work done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we were able to talk, and we're just like, going on and on, working together.
Sometimes it doesn't work that way. It's like we have a great time and nothing gets done.
Yeah. But he and I we're both workers. We're both the people who get the work done. So
as long as you give us the list of things to do, it will be done before.
Yeah. Give us the list and leave us alone, and we will get it done.
Well, this is good. This is good news for the dream board or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you got a list.
Yeah, he and I think a lot of times with the podcast they have different opinions, but I think he and I are just the same coin, but on different sides of it. Like we're both on the nerd coin or the nerd sphere or whatever. But like he's into anime and movies, and I'm more into video games. And I have a little bit of movies, but also like D&D and like other nerd shit. But we both know a little bit about the other one, so we can talk about it and explain. He's very much the technical side of things too.
Oh, okay.
He's good at like knowing the name of the actor and actress and where else you've seen them and who this voice actor was and on and on. And I'm just like, I remember this guy. He was in this thing, and it looks familiar. Where is it from?
This and this.
Unless it's a video game, and then I'll be like, well, you play this game, and you do this, you do that. That's how you.
Here's some cheat codes or something.
Yeah, up, down, down. Left, right, AB start.
Old Nintendo one. Stop it.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, it sounds like you got all the ingredients here. It's just a matter of you talked about making the roux or what have you. You just got to make the roux.
Yeah, we got the ingredients. We just haven't really got the measurements precise enough.
Yeah, aside from like editing is actually while it doesn't take me long, there's still a lot of details that I probably should get into that I don't know about when I'm editing, because mostly it's just I'll compress it and then make all the audio mostly even, and then that should be good, but I don't know the details. So I don't know, there's a lot of little things that I think need to be done.
The interesting thing, my interesting observation is actually most of the popular things that aren't produced by conglomerates, that doesn't seem to matter. Have you noticed that? You know what I'm saying? If you hear something that comes from, corporation, or, Ted Danson's got a podcast, all that stuff sounds really, really good and everything. But if you get into the nitty gritty people who are doing it on their own, it's just a whole other ball of wax. And being technically,
savvy.
Yeah, correct. Doesn't seem to be part of that mix.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, if you watch, especially because nowadays, I mean, we're doing video and audio, but nowadays there's a lot of video involved in it too. And most of the stuff that seems viral is who put out this piece of shit and why do people like it?
You're not wrong.
That's my reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And one of my questions to everybody, especially if I talk to people who are younger, is are you buying this? This is obviously all fake. This guy is recording his girlfriend doing something, where she's sticking her butt in the camera, and she knows it and he knows it, but everybody watching is supposed to be like, oh, we don't know that she doesn't know that he's filming her butt. And it's no, of course she does.
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
But it's everybody watching it is ignoring the fact that it's not real. Yeah.
That's another reason why I open social media and I'm like, oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
But I'm I don't understand. For me, I just don't understand. I'm it's all so obviously fake. I mean, is that the point, that it's obviously fake, and we just ignore that? And then there's all these inane comments about, I can't believe that she didn't get mad at him. It's of course she didn't, because she was in on it. She's like, I'm gonna stick my butt in the camera because everybody likes to see a nice butt.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason.
Yeah, I mean, so neither one of you guys got a nice butt, I'm guessing, just from the top parts. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
I do have a nice butt. We should.
Oh, you
do?
Okay,
more butts.
Well, then.
I got a nice butt.
Sorry,
I mean, the front's not bad either. It's fine.
I don't know where that was going. But I mean, to me, it seems like it's one of those... it's not a rig game. It's just so random that would be hard to hit the mark. You know what I mean? So the target's not hung on the wall and you can hit it. The target is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And so it seems really weird how that works. And so, it's very confusing. And so, I mean, since you guys have meetings, do you have a strategy where you're saying to yourselves, we should do, I mean, obviously the mini-sode thing was a bit of a strategy. Is there any other strategies that you're thinking about that you'll share? You don't have to if you don't want it, but.
I think we had the con strategy.
Yeah. Getting out there and trying to meet locals, like artists and stuff like that, and try to get in touch with them, maybe get them on for interviews and such like that. TikTok is always still a thing, even though I don't care for the weird little viral trends and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't see myself being like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do that. No.
Yeah, we made some TikToks a few times.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Just when we were recording, we're like, hey, look, guys, we're recording. Do some stupid shit. But I don't know. It just, I hate it so much. I really do. I hate social media so much. I hate it. I hate it. Like, I mean, I'd be happy if our shit was out there and somebody else was doing the posting and dealing with it, because I can't. Because I think that Jay and I have a good personality for making people laugh. We bounce off each other really well, and we're pretty good at making people laugh. But
that's interesting. But that's always the thing. So there seems to be a lot of the points are there, but why don't they gel beyond, that becomes the big question, right? And so you always have to ask yourself, to me, the hard part about it is that you can't make it gel. I mean, you can't make it go beyond yourself typically, unless you have a lot of money and you're talking like those guys had a booth or 3 booths or whatever the hell it was. And they're basically buying fans with giveaways. Not saying that that's what they were doing, but that's an example. I mean, that's when you give away free shit, people pay attention because I got free shit. So,
and also if you're giving them a sticker, they're going to stick it somewhere. And every time they see that sticker, they're going to be like, oh, that podcast.
Oh, wait.
that thing.
What's the A mean? That's what I would.
Yeah, see, that's what everyone asks.
It's that, people with, already a big name from something else.
Yeah.
I was in this show. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm in this band. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I like that band, so I should listen to your podcast.
So now, I'm gonna give you guys an idea that I have had but have never pulled the trigger on, and I want to see what you guys think about it.
Okay.
Because you obviously are creative people, right? And you're thinking along these lines too. So
I have my moments.
I always thought it would be fun. So you mentioned karaoke, right? So this actually could go right into your world here. I always thought it'd be fun. Why isn't it a show, as in a show at a location? So let's say you had a venue and you did your bit at the venue and you recorded it. And you could even stream it out live, maybe even do karaoke.
I think we talked about that one time, actually.
Yeah, we did have an idea of that. I can't remember the entire gist.
I think the whole thing was just we were going to set up a live on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and then just have it sitting out and not specifically talking to the camera, but other people doing their karaoke, and we do our karaoke and occasionally talk to the camera, while we're just sitting and hanging out like we normally do. But yeah. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't. We never tried it, so because we did do lives for a little bit before we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
We did half an hour live where we would hop on Facebook and just see if anybody wanted to hop on and talk with us before we actually recorded. Never really went anywhere because it's mostly our friends that we were like, hey, you should join us and shoot the shit with us for half an hour, please.
Again, when you're on a big social media platform and you have all these big names out there and they're doing lives and stuff, are there people going to really come to you, the little guy?
Well, I don't know. That's the question but then it could be in place of a band or a comedian or something else, because essentially it becomes the show, and then as it becomes the show, then you have so many people have just an online presence and not a real world presence, right? So I think that there's something. I think part of the reason that these things are so difficult is because a lot of them don't have any kind of real world presence. And so if by having that, you're ahead of the game, because that connects with different people. It connects with people differently and different people than are only on the online thing. Because the online world there's so much.
Yeah.
Everybody's so fickle, right? And the real world is limited. And so by having that connection to the real world, I think that's what, because it is limited. I mean, maybe you just live in a small place in Virginia and it's like, well, this is the only thing happening on Friday. And then that becomes the thing. You see what I'm saying? Because there's not unlimited options at that point.
That's true.
So it's just an idea. I'm just
no. I mean, that's not a bad idea at all. I mean, there's no stupid questions.
Oh, come on, Kevin. You know there is.
No, it's just the people that ask those questions.
Yes, the people that ask the questions are stupid.
Oh, okay.
Not you. Not you. Wait.
Wait a minute. So the other thing is, and this, well, I would say just from listening, and no offense to you, Jay, but Kevin, right? Voiceover, right? So Kevin's got cartoon voice.
I do.
Jay, you don't have a cartoon voice per se.
I can change it.
Okay, but you don't portray that as much, so that's why.
Oh no, I try not to. I mean, if you're, if we're in like talks with other people, I try not to like go off and be too boisterous and weird.
Why?
I can't help it. I'm boisterous and weird.
Why hold back? There's no. You're talking to a fucking blue cat. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess on multiple occasions, I've always kind of like held back, and then like as time goes by and I get more close to people, then I start breaking down that weird little wall and then go and be silly. And
he can very much be as silly and loud as I am. It's
these are facts.
Yeah. Most of the time, the problem is when we record or when we're doing something, my stupid ass is always being loud. Instead, like I'm initially loud. I don't like my goal is to treat everyone like I've known them forever, and it's just whatever. And it makes people uncomfortable initially, but then when I tell them flat out that I'm going to treat you like I've known you forever, and sorry, they'll be like, yeah, okay, and then they do the same in return. That's how I make relationships. I just you get to an age where you genuinely don't care.
Oh.
And that's where I am. I'm going to have fun. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I don't have room for more friends anyways. If you like it, great. You can come hang out for a little while.
The shack's only so big, folks.
That's right. That's right. I can only fit so many people in my podcast shack.
That's right.
That's what we're going to call it too. The podcast shack. I'm going to make a sign.
No. You should be called the potty shack.
Oh,
the potty shack?
A potty shack.
Oh.
Sounds like you could have Prince make a song about that. That's interesting. But so, have you guys ever? Do you either one of you have any kind of artistic talents that you like to pursue?
Kevin.
Well, yeah. I draw a lot. I do like hand drawn and Photoshop. I'm trying to see if I have anything nearby around. Usually I do. But I do a lot of Photoshop and drawing and a lot of creative shit. I do a lot of creative stuff like paint nutcrackers, and any way that I can get my creativity out is
paint nutcracker. Where the hell did that come from?
Because for some reason, look, I really. What, Jay? What was that?
It's the season to paint your nutcrackers.
Look, I don't know what it is, but like of all the Christmas things, I really like nutcrackers. So I bought a bunch of them.
Is he a Tchaikovsky kind of guy?
I bought a lot of them, the blank ones at Michael's, and I started painting them, and then they were all going to be Christmas themed, but I was like, you know what would be really fun, just because, is making a nutcracker for every holiday. So I can have like a Halloween nutcracker and a Thanksgiving nutcracker.
Jason,
and so
from Friday the 13th nutcracker.
Yeah, exactly. I could do whatever I wanted. And I mean, right now I have a nutcracker that I painted to look like Link from The Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just I like doing creative stuff, and that's just what I'm into now is painting nutcrackers.
So it's all paint. You don't do like make any costumes or anything?
Nah, I'm not really that good with that stuff. Maybe if I had the money and time. But for the most part, it's just I do hand drawing, sketching, and Photoshop. Because like this monitor I use is a Huion tablet that I can draw directly on.
Cool.
So
you'll spend money on that, but you won't help Jay out with the social.
That was like 4 years ago. So. I bought all our podcast equipment, damn it.
Don't get defensive. It's okay.
I'm not defensive. You're defensive.
Have you ever thought about like making your own anime and then voicing it? Because I mean, that would be another outlet that could. Sorry, there's something happening here. Go ahead.
He and I both talked about voice acting.
Oh yeah.
Voice acting would be fun. But drawing something over and over again, I'm not good at that. I'm not, like, I draw something really good one time and I'm like, done, moving on to the next one.
Moving on to the next one.
Like, I have a degree in web and graphic design, but I don't use it because I did it for like 2 years and I was like, I hate being forced to be creative. Like, I love being creative, but I need to do my own thing, not what people will pay me to do. So
interesting.
Otherwise, it's not fun.
So, Jay, do you have any creative talents?
I'm an assembler. I'm good with my hands. So, if you tell me to build something,
Kevin, long marriage, good with his hands. Just saying.
I can only do one thing with my hands.
Pretty sure there are other things you can do with your hands. You just need a partner.
So you're an assembler. So,
yeah, I like putting things together, so I build a lot of models.
There you go. Interesting.
Yep. I'm always building something for the most part.
Also links in with the anime, so
yeah, it does go. Yeah, because I do Gundam models specifically.
Oh, okay. So giant robots.
Yes, I do love giant robots.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just curious because then, I mean, that is another one of those things that spins into all of this. So everybody that I've talked to has some type of creative urge, need, unfulfilled, in some way, shape, or form. And that's why they're kind of doing these things, is because they have to have an outlet. And if there's not an outlet that's available, then this is the outlet, right? So this is an outlet that's been created for people to be, to do something that's not the norm, not the regular stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This and karaoke was my outlet for a really long time. And I think doing this is still me and Jay's outlet. Like, I don't do karaoke as much anymore, but this is still available and we still use it as a good reason to like hang out and, shoot the shit.
So you haven't not working on your second new divorce at this point or anything, Kevin?
I mean, I looked and then I was like, forget it. If I'll find something, like, dating apps are the worst thing in the world. They're terrible. And I looked for a while and I was like, it's been about 2 years of looking. I'll wait a little while and then go back again if something doesn't pop up. So fuck it.
Jay,
ladies, give me a call.
Any comments on this, Jay? You're just basically trying to keep him out of your house. I understand.
Oh no. Because him and my brother-in-law were both going through divorces, and it's hard to see it happen, especially for my brother-in-law. He kind of came out of nowhere for him, but it's always a kind of a shit show when it starts. But everything's better now. So, like, hey, cool. And yeah, I have to agree. After hearing all the stories about dating apps, I'm like, yeah, they seem terrible, and gross.
I
but
mean,
mostly terrible.
It's a good thing that obviously the divorce happened because we didn't get along, which is fine. Because some people just don't, or they grow apart, or they realize they're different people, whatever. But it's good because it allowed me to find myself again. And like, I'm who I want to be. Like, I learned lots of lessons with random dating, trying to find another person. I learned my lessons. I'm actually at a place where I'm comfortable being by myself and I don't need to be with anybody. And so now I'm at the place where I'm like, now I could find somebody and I'd be fine because I wouldn't have to worry about changing who I am to suit somebody else like I was before. So, it's a growing thing. So I look at all the crappy things that have happened before as the stepping stones to get where I am now because I like who I am.
Wow, deep talk from Kevin here. Wow, look at that.
Oh yeah.
It's not just a pretty face.
No, that's great though. I mean, I'm I'm being very flippant, and but no, you're right. Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't think in a world full of humans that the hardest thing would be to be yourself.
Yeah. Because everyone wants to change who they are to fit the mold of somebody else. And so finding, you being yourself and being who you want to be without finding someone else to be like, well, if I change this one thing, they'll like me more. It's like, no, you should be able to find someone who's like, oh, that you have that thing that I don't like, but I like you enough to not worry about that one.
Sounds like the questions you ask yourself if you want to be a more popular podcast.
Oh no, maybe I should change everything about me so we can be a more popular podcast. More people visiting the podcast shack.
And to draw a tangent there. So if you guys so as we wrap it up here, is there like anything on the horizon that you're like, I'm really looking forward to this? So like, for instance, I don't know if you guys maybe you don't even know this, podcasting is 20 years old at this point. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Nope.
It started in September of 2004 as a word and as a mode of delivery.
I started listening when Radio Lab was like a year old, because that was one of my first podcasts. Was Radio Lab. That's what got me into it.
And it may not have been. Did you have like an iPod at that point, or how did you listen? How did you listen to it?
How did I listen to it? I think it was when the touchscreen phones were just starting.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I used a podcast app.
Right. So then that's after that.
So it was pretty recent.
Yeah.
I guess. Where was it? Because I was working at the place that he and I were working at, but before then.
Before you guys got together and cleaned all that mess up.
Shit. Yeah, we cleaned the hell out of that store.
Yep.
Shit. Well, it had to be 20. Yeah, it had to be 19 years ago because it was when my son was, because I remember the person who told me about the podcast was at a specific store, and I was at that store right after my son was born, my youngest son, who is 19 now. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was about 19 years ago that I started listening. And I've gone back and forth since then.
Jay?
Oh, I had no idea. I mean, I knew about podcasts, but I had never listened to one until right around the time we started this. So
because I was like, Jay, listen to this. Jay, listen to this. We could do like this.
So like two years ago, I was like,
that's interesting.
Okay.
Because I think of podcasting as the replacement of radio is what I think of it as. Because
100%.
A lot of people will listen to their podcast shows, as if they listen to the radio. They just stack them up and let them run. And that's what radio was prior. You just pick the station and let it run. So it's interesting that way. So what do you hope that the future of your show, let alone the future of the median would be?
I think, honestly, I think podcasts are kind of dying out since lots and lots of people were doing podcasts during COVID. Like it kind of got oversaturated, and then everyone got sick of them. I'm not. That's just my honest opinion. Like I think
I agree with you. I would totally agree with you.
I think it got oversaturated, and then now everyone's sick of them, and so I think there's still going to be podcasts around because I don't think it's going anywhere. But it's just not going to be as popular as it once was. As far as for us, I think I would love to see it like us branch out into other stuff where we're doing live shows once a week that people actually attend and talk with people who are into the same things that we are and like actually making money. I see it going one of two ways. We find the road that we need to step up and make money, or we do it for another few years until we get sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just like, fuck it. We're done. We're done.
Jay, I'm getting married again. I've had enough of this.
I've had enough. She doesn't want me doing it, Jay.
I'm changing my life for someone else, Jay, just so you know.
I gotta work on me, Jay. I gotta work on the K and K podcast. Okay.
Damn you. Bad enough I've had 2 people from work leave me in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, you poor thing.
So my morning crew is no longer the morning crew that it used to be.
I'll always be in your heart, Jay. No matter where our podcast.
Did they get a better offer or did they get fired? That's my question.
No, better offers.
Oh, good. That's
better
good.
offers. One's in management now, and the other one is literally working from home in advertisement. So wow. I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it's always sad when you're the one left and you're gonna be there by yourself with new people.
Yeah, I found that out Friday. I was like, this is not cool. Where's my normal morning banter? There's no banter here.
I need to talk shit with people. Who's here?
Right? Exactly. Like I need that frigging water cooler talk. It's gone. I can watch this cooking show by myself in the background. They're just making cakes and making me hungry now.
Great British Bake Off has got to be talked about.
Yeah.
Who else am I going to discuss this with?
Yeah, exactly. I have no one to discuss it with
now. What's your predictions in the future here?
For me, I'd love to see the actual podcast grow with I guess more outings to various places, talking to more people. I mean, I'd love to branch out and even do little videos here and there for TikTok. Gross. or more actual video content for YouTube.
I mean, it's where it is, really.
Yeah. I don't want to show off this ugly mug all the time, but it must be shown, apparently.
I've got a bit for you. What's in Jay's beard? And then you just pull random objects out of your beard.
It's like what those people do when they're holding things under their boobs. Only
That's
it's in the beard.
I feel like I might have the beard beaten that has beat Chuck Norris's beard. Of course, that beard probably would get mad right now and punch me. But hey, I give it a shot.
That'd be interesting. Well, guys, thanks for taking some time to talk to me today. And it really is interesting to me to find out what everybody's thinking. And that's essentially part of why I asked you to do this. And you know, if anybody's listening, this was a conversation with the KJNA podcast, and you can find them here at kjnapodcast.blueberry.net. How do you say that? Blueberry?
Blueberry?
Blueberry. Blubbery.
Yes.
.net.
I don't know.
And give them a listen. It's a lot of fun, and they're fun guys to listen to. And watch, you know, for these, we've just put out a bunch of ideas that are going on the dream board.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be coming true any day now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you
Sparkle, sparkle.
Thanks.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man. It was a lot of fun.
Hold on a second, okay? Hold
on
1 second.